Well, I started working for Spiral right after I graduated from college in 1994. I
Mhm,
went to school for manufacturing engineering,
mhm.
and I wanted to work for a company that manufactured technical products. So Spiral was looking for engineers at the time. So I applied, and I was lucky enough to be hired by Spiral. And 27 years later, I'm still here. In my role as the director of marketing, my day could start off in the morning speaking with my colleagues in Europe, like I'm speaking with you now. I could have the day, working on new initiatives. We're in the process of expanding our e-commerce website, shop.spiral.com. We're in the process of creating our brand new spiral.com corporate website. So that a lot of the day is spent on working on initiatives. I may facilitate some training for new or existing employees. And then I could end my night on a meeting, in a meeting with our Asia facility, because obviously with a 12-hour time difference, um, typically I'll go home, I'll have some dinner, and then I'll end up having a meeting and supporting our Asia division. So I would say that obviously the change in technology has just been transformational. I mean, you know, um, the internet being used for marketing our product, for finding suppliers, for people finding us. It's that has been a dramatic change. In terms of the industry, um, the the proliferation of plastics in every single industry, changing from metal to plastics, has been huge, which has impacted our standard product offering. Staying ahead of what the industry needs. We recognized back in the mid 90s that as more and more things were changing from metal to plastic, that companies were going to need some type of a fastener to limit compression. So we were the first company to standardize, a standard line of compression limiters, is what we fortunately called it, which is been a super fast growing product line for us. And we've been changing these over the years as plastics became stronger. Before, we had these big pieces of metal used to limit compression, and now those are becoming smaller and smaller, in the spirit of lightweighting and the fact that you just don't need super strong limiters in conjunction with a super strong plastic. I would say one more thing too, and that is that the world seems to have gotten a lot smaller. So whereas before you had a lot of local companies buying from local suppliers, now you're seeing companies from all over the world buying from each individual Spiral location. So
Mhm.
one of the things that we talk about to our customers is that while we're a global company, we're also a local supplier. But we are finding that even as a local company, we're like, for example, in Australia, they could buy from Spiral Asia, which is closest to them, but sometimes they will come and buy from Spiral Connecticut or even Spiral UK. Our
Mhm.
customers have, you know, more of a selection. They can buy from whomever they want, be it Spiral, one of the Spiral locations, or any other company. And it's easy for them to do. Me, I think just the um, work, being able to work my way through the company. I'm also a vice president, corporate vice president. So being able to build off of my previous knowledge and experience and to get to where I am today has, it's a nice,
It's pretty
it,
big. Christy, it's pretty
it
big.
feels
It's
good. Well,
great.
well, that's the other thing. Like, our company really believes in promoting from within, and I'm an example of that.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing, in terms of my career. I would say that when I was in technical sales, that's still my passion, and I would say marketing is very similar to sales, just on a bigger level.
Mhm.
In technical sales, I have been able to work with the leading, designers and manufacturers in the world in different industries, whether it's medical, farm and ag equipment, automotive companies. And while I won't talk about some of the specific applications because I wouldn't want to divulge, specific proprietary information, but I can say that I have probably, if you've been in surgery before, I probably influenced some of the surgical instruments that were used. If you have benefited from driving in a car, I'm probably in some different of the applications within the car. About working on some of the specific applications has been it's not just about being fun because it is fun, but it's super gratifying and satisfying. And when customers will call, I'm going to say me as an individual right now, when they call me because they have a problem and they know, like right now they're saying that I can solve it, but it really is Spiral can solve it. That's, to me, that means that they understand the value that we offer them. And again, that makes me super proud to work for our company. Well, I'll expand on a little bit. So definitely one of my favorite things about the fastener industry, I would say, is the diversity of the different products that use fasteners. Anything that can be fastened together is a potential user of Spiral products. And so being able to work with cosmetic companies, medical companies, that's one thing. And the other thing is, like, the fastener industry, you'll find, if you join some of the fastener organizations, which I have, it's a very close-knit industry. And so, getting together at least annually is some of the things that we do in different parts of the world, right? With the different people in the fastener industry. And it's a cool, close-knit industry. Well, I think in general, when I think of, so there's distribution and then there's manufacturing. But at the end of the day, it's still an industrial, right? And I do think that some women tend to be maybe intimidated by industrial products because it's typically been a male-dominated industry, and you'll still find that. I think that getting involved with school-age children, one of the things that we do at a local level, I'm at the headquarters in Connecticut in the United States, we'll bring in, high school kids, sometimes junior high kids or middle school, and we give them tours of our facility, and we talk about different careers in manufacturing, because people think, manufacturing gets a bad rap. Everybody thinks of it as dirty, oily, dim lit, and it's not like that. As a matter of fact, it's very different from that. Or else companies these days, if you don't invest in technology, you're not going to make it, right? Mm-hmm. So I think people are definitely enlightened when they come in and visit our facility, and even the teachers when they, so getting people excited about, and even showing them that they have a potential future in manufacturing. It's just not for mechanics. It's just not for men. It's just not for engineers. We have people in purchasing, people in accounting. In terms of the fastener part of it, if you like to learn, right? If you like to help people, if you have any type of technical interest at all, and not at a super high level, just like pretty basic mechanical aptitude and willingness to learn, I encourage people to check it out. Well, I will say, first and foremost, I think it's really important, no matter what industry, that you choose something that you like to do. There was a statement that I helped craft, and it was, don't just like what you do, love what you do. And I can truly say that I love what I do. I think that, whatever, working with companies and helping them solve problems and helping them succeed and become more competitive in their marketplace it's super fun. If you really do embrace that as a concept, not just going to work and doing your job like a robot, you know, or just ticking off lists. But if you embrace the spirit of what we do at Spiral, you too would love your job, you know.
Yeah.
So I would say that the fastener industry has been growing, so there's a lot of growth still to be had. We're seeing new technologies be really cool over the next few years to see the explosive takeoff with electric vehicles and alternative energy, which Spiral is at the forefront of working with the design engineers, and hopefully they
Yeah.
standardize on Spiral. That's the goal here. Um, you know, it'll feel very rewarding to be a part of that. I think it's an important time for
Mhm.
all, and you could appreciate that, right? When we have to move away from fossil fuels and start looking at some alternative energy. So I'm really proud to say that we are at the forefront of that. We've been working with these companies starting, you know, several years ago, and now they're starting to go into. So
Yeah.
buckle up your seatbelt.